On Sunday, September 19th, the Clinton-Macomb Public Library in Macomb Township cut the ribbon on the brand new North Branch facility. It's been a long time coming, but all are excited to see this building complete and open to the public.
Well, this is a dream come true after many, many years of planning and 15 years of having ideas in a folder. So I'm so excited. I can't wait for the public to come in and see it. That's the missing ingredient.
Well, I think we're all pretty excited. We finally have a neighbor out here on Broughton Road. This building is fantastic. If anybody hasn't had a chance to get out here, this is not the kind of library that you might think of when you're my age and you remember libraries back growing up in grade school. This is a state-of-the-art facility. It's more of a community center where I think a lot of our township residents are going to come and enjoy the space, take advantage of all the facilities and the resources they have here. It's just amazing.
This is more than I had dreamed of. I had a stellar team, architects, construction management firm, so they heard all of the ideas. Then they went and ran with it, and they incorporated even more than I could imagine. I still am discovering things that you don't see on a floor plan, you don't see on an architectural drawing that are incorporated in the building, so it is just incredible.
This is going to be a really nice anchoring piece for the town center area. We still have hopes of getting Broughton to be pushed through with even more amenities and resources for our community, but this kind of architecturally and as a facility and as a resource sort of balances out what we already have here, and this is a great way for us to sort of move into the next generation of our township.
And now, the entire ribbon cutting ceremony to officially open the new North Branch Clinton-Macomb Public Library.
We are so delighted to have you here today to open our new North Branch. Are you guys excited? Woo! I think we're very excited. We can't wait to let you guys in here to see all of the awesome things we have waiting for you. But before that, we need to hear some words from some of our elected officials, our library directors. So without further ado, please help me welcome our library director, Mr. Larry Neal.
Thank you, library fans, for being part of this day and helping us make history as we open the new North Branch Library. You'll find the agenda on the back of the welcome brochure. So to begin, please rise and welcome Maximus Van Jarsveld, Alex Dabrowski, Daniel Haddad, and William Knotts from Boy Scout Troop number 208, and Todd Moses and the Macombers for the presentation of the flag and national anthem of the United States of America.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land, o'er the land, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much. Please be seated. I'd like to now welcome Father Ron Victor from St. Isidore Church for the invocation.
Let us pray. Gracious God, source of all human learning, we proclaim your glory, reflected in this beautiful building, this beautiful setting. Listen to our prayers, that all who come here to read and study in pursuit of greater knowledge, especially in the arts and sciences, may always be open to your wisdom. Grant that, as leaders imbued with true learning, they will serve to improve the quality of life in our Clinton and Macomb townships. We thank you for our many benefactors and ask that you bless and watch over all who contributed to the construction and establishment of this library, and for the library volunteers and staff as they serve our community. With grateful hearts, we pray. Amen.
So I've recently come to learn that my staff has a code name for this building. They call it Larry's Baby. And I really have such a creative and talented staff. I was a little disappointed because I think of it as Larry's love child. There is so much love that went into this building from every last detail. The architectural team from Quinn Evans, Jim Mumby, Ann Dilcher, Ben, Alex, Fatima, they did a fantastic job of not only creating the dream, but going far above and beyond. You'll see the love of craftsmanship in this building with McCarthy and Smith, the construction management firm, with Bill, McCarthy, Aaron, Ashley, and there's one guy I like to pick on all the time, that's Bill Butka. He has lived on this site for nearly the last 2 years, everything from the drilling of the geothermal wells to overseeing 1,000 copper tiles on the dome and watching every last detail of this building. You'll see the love of space planning around humans, that this is a place for people first and books second, although books are really important, with the furniture and from Library Design Associates, and also who are in the midst of moving 80,000 items from our old location over to here. They've had 4 days so far to do that, so if you don't see as many books on the shelves, please be patient with us. They're still in process, but they will get over here. And you'll see the love of early literacy and art in the children's area that I can't wait for you to see by the Burgeon Group. And most of all, you'll see the love for my staff who've been with me on this journey throughout the whole process, giving input on every last detail, creating outstanding collections, figuring out new technology that hasn't been used in other places before, and even flying a drone around the site to take a documentation of how this has changed over the months as it was designed. And then I had a staff member, Gretchen Krug, North Branch Manager, scouring the state of Michigan to find rocks and other gems for the floor pocket that you'll discover out in the main floor area. So simply, I have a library staff second to none. And I also want to thank John King, who's here today, and the rest of my family for their patience over the last 3 years of the library story of the day, and 1,000 construction photos, because I am worse than a grandparent of showing you pictures of this building. But at the end of the day, this world-class library building is for all of you, where I hope you will come again and again for generations as a place in the community to learn, to have fun, to meet neighbors, to get together, to get babies and toddlers interested in the love of reading, and that we are a heart of the community and bring everyone closer together. And last of all, I'd like to thank our incredible library board members who are volunteers, give generously of their time, and have supported this vision and dream throughout the entire process. So with that said, I would like to invite Camille Silda, Library Board President, up to welcome our guests.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I introduce all the guests, I would just like to have a big hand for Larry as our director, Library Design Associates for the last crazy 4 days here, getting all the books and other materials out, Quinn Evans for their architectural work, and last but far from least is Bill McCarthy and his team, because without all 4 of these entities, we would not have this library here today. So let's have a quick hand. So first off, I'll start with our library board. If you three would stand. Amy Willie is vice president. Next year, she will be our president. Elizabeth Pugh is our secretary. And Cheryl Cannon is our trustee. Next, okay, you can sit. Okay. Members of the Macomb Township Board, if you could also rise. Frank Viviano, supervisor. Christy Posey, clerk. Leanne Drolette, treasurer. Pete Lucido, trustee. Charlie Oliver, trustee. Hand for them. Thank you. Members of the Clinton Township Board, Bob Cannon, supervisor. Paul Gillingham, treasurer. Laura Cardamone, trustee. Tammy Patton, trustee. Thank you. Members of Congress, we have Representative Andy Levin, a great supporter of libraries. If you could stand and wave, Andy. We appreciate all of that support. State of Michigan, Senator Mike McDonald. I know you're here, Mike. And Representative Jeff Yarash. Okay, now we come to my hometown. Mark Hackle, County Executive. Joe Sabatini, Commissioner. Julie Matuzik, Commissioner. State Librarian, Randy Riley. And have I missed anyone? Okay, I think we're all here.
I gave Camille the good job of tracking everybody down last minute and getting everyone's name correct, so thank you, Camille, one of many, many jobs. Macomb County is served by an A-team of library advocates on both sides of the aisle. I'm always so proud, whether I'm going to a state event or even nationally, to talk about the support we get from our local legislators. They use the library for their coffee hours, they're aware of the services, they promote it as a reason to move to these communities, and they support us, whether it's for the library for the blind, us hosting it, or for state aid that has helped us become recognized nationally for partnerships with all of our local school districts. So that said, I would like to invite them up for brief remarks, and I think everyone said they would do brief remarks today, given everyone's baking out there. So I'll start with Frank Viviano, the supervisor from Macomb Township, right across the green from us here.
I got the hint, brief. I'm not the one you got to worry about. There's a county executive over there who might take a while. It is my honor, on behalf of the Macomb Township Board of Trustees, past and present, really to be the first ones to welcome our new neighbors to our town square. It is great having you here. This piece of architecture is just stunning, and if you haven't seen the inside yet, the inside is as beautiful as the outside. This building, for us, selfishly, will provide an outstanding anchor to this town hall complex, and is something that we can enjoy as a community for many years to come. I want to congratulate Larry and the entire Clinton-Macomb board on what you've done here. I think it's nothing short of astounding that you've managed to not just get this done, but battled through a COVID crisis and accomplished just what is really just an outstanding building. In a lot of ways, what they've accomplished here is similar to what the township has been going through. Everybody knows that Macomb Township has grown tremendously over the past 20 or 30 years. We're now one of the largest communities in the state of Michigan. And now, our infrastructure and our amenities and our facilities are catching up. Just last week, we opened a multi-million-dollar, state-of-the-art public safety building. The library board has opened a multi-million-dollar, state-of-the-art library right here in Macomb Township. And I don't say these things as a point of pride, but I want you all to know that these are our investments into our community, that these buildings and these facilities, and as we continue to grow, we're going to keep reinvesting to make sure that our township is served by all of the public entities that are supposed to take care of it. Now, I know my time is short, but I wanted to maybe make a little bit more of a contribution to the library. So I was hoping I could, if you'd be so kind as to accept a small donation. I know shelf space is very limited, so I thought, I'll find the thinnest books I can, and I'll contribute them to the library, if that's okay. And I got a couple here. I got the Detroit Lions' greatest playoff victories. Very light, very light. I also learned that so many of our elected officials are published authors. It's kind of great. I knew it a little bit because, the first one I want to give you is How to Succeed Without Relying on Your Family Name, co-authored by Congressman Andy Levin and Township Supervisor Frank Viviano. So, I got that one for you. We also have our very own treasurer, Macomb Town Treasurer Leon Drillette, who authored Building a Bipartisan Relations. This one's more of a pamphlet. We also have Saying It Softly, The Art of Subtle Communication by Macomb County Prosecutor Pete Lucido. And finally, we have Avoiding Media Spotlight by Executive Mark Hackle. Not exactly War and Peace, but so hopefully you'll find a shelf or maybe a drawer you can put those in. Again, congratulations and welcome to the neighborhood.
It'll be an interesting exercise for our cataloger with the subject headings on those. So next up is one of the founders of this library system. You talk about visionary and the reason that this system started up from the beginning. So Bob Cannon, supervisor of the Charter Township of Clinton, welcome.
Thank you, Larry. What a tribute to our two communities to be able to support the great public library system that we have. We have come a long ways since our early beginnings at Erie Elementary School in 1992 to become a premier library system 29 years later. This is something we should all be proud of. This is my 8th library dedication, and I'll tell you, it never grows old or becomes redundant because the newness and excellence of each new venture complements and perfects this wonderful library system. Now, I know a few of you are out there saying, we don't have 8 libraries, so think about that one. I am so pleased at how this building adds to an already outstanding Civic Center complex here in Macomb Township. A huge thank you goes to our library director, Larry Neal, and his staff of professionals who provide enriching programs and services every single day. Our library board, represented by both Clinton and Macomb Townships, is to be commended for always seeing the big picture, such as this building, and providing the type of library system that will serve all residents for generations to come. And to you, the residents of both Clinton and Macomb Townships, who have had the foresight to see the merits and value of a library system, the importance of education, and your continued support of our great library system with your wallets. Thank you. When we started this project at Erie, we had some naysayers who said that libraries are a thing of the past. They were wrong. It's amazing what libraries do for us. They help build community through their meeting spaces, provide literature for enjoyment, and nonfiction resources like the one that Frank just donated, provide and help with access to information on the internet, promote literacy of not only children, but English language learners, protect our freedom to read what we want, when we want, provide a place for collaboration and to learn something new, provide gamings, CDs, and DVDs for learning and enjoyment, and provide programs for all ages. And this is just the beginning. Congratulations all on a job well done.
So I had to sneak a librarian in for you in between our elected officials, and I've got a really good one. This is the State Librarian, Randy Riley. Thank you so much for coming down from Lansing today on this beautiful day, Randy.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. One of the best things about being the state librarian is getting to attend events like this and celebrate all the great things that are happening in Michigan's libraries. And surprise, surprise, it's been a little harder to do over the last year and a half because of COVID. So today is a great day to celebrate. Please bear with me. I know we don't have a lot of time, but having great libraries like this library here, they don't happen by accident. It reminds me of a story, my Aunt Betty story. And if you've heard me tell my Aunt Betty story before, I promise this is a short version. I come from a large Irish Catholic family. My dad had 10 siblings, and Aunt Betty was the oldest. And she was kind of curmudgeonly. But the minute I went to library school, I automatically became Aunt Betty's favorite. She wanted to sit next to me at Christmas parties and always wanted to chat me up and see how my life was going. And I thought it was because Aunt Betty just knew how wonderful I was. Aunt Betty passed away, and I was asked by my cousin Leo to be a pallbearer at her funeral. And he told me, he said, yeah, Mom always really liked and respected you because she said, if not a priest, the second best thing is a librarian. So, not saying that the staff at this library have the same kind of calling that your priest does or your rabbi or your minister, but there is a genuine drive to provide service to the community. And a place like this, all of you are not here if the people in this building are not doing the right things. And during COVID, Michigan's libraries were extremely challenged. And as the state librarian, it was fantastic to watch libraries, not like this one, but libraries across the state stand on their heads to recreate themselves and provide service in new and different ways and continue to meet the needs of the community. You folks in this community are lucky to have the staff of this library. You're very lucky to have Larry Neal, the director of this system. He's not just one of the strongest library directors in the state. He's one of the best library directors in the country, and he's a treasure for you and your community. I want to say congratulations. Yes. This celebration is for you. This library is for you. Continue to support it. Continue to visit. Continue to ask libraries and your librarians what you want them to do for you, because they're here to listen and be responsive to your needs and wants. So congratulations. Enjoy the day. And hopefully we are on the other side of the COVID story so that we can have more days like this. Thanks.
That's going to cost me big, I know it. Thank you, Randy. We're also super lucky in the fact that our library district runs from 14-mile to 26-mile roads. So we like to invite all of our elected officials, even if their district doesn't extend all the way up here. So he is a little bit out of district, but Representative Andy Levin has been just an incredible supporter of libraries that is unprecedented. So we had to invite him, and we're so lucky to have him here today to share a few words with us.
Good afternoon. It is fantastic to be here because I love libraries. Since I was growing up in Berkeley, Michigan, I got to walk to the library. My mom would take us up there once a week, and we had a lot of restrictions. There were four of us, my sisters and my brother and me, but what we could do and what we couldn't do, but there was no limit at the library. And there was no judgment about the books we took out. Whatever you could carry home, you could check out from the Berkeley Public Library. And from that day to this, I have felt like libraries are absolutely foundational of our society and of our democracy, of us as a free, self-governing people. Libraries like this, yeah, this is an unbelievable building and an advanced energy building, and that there's a lot that's cool about it. But to me, this is about people becoming citizens, kids becoming knowledgeable, the free exchange of ideas. And I am so proud that Clinton and Macomb townships have come together to create, honest to God, one of the strongest library systems in our nation. Congratulations on this incredible new building. Larry, you've done an amazing job. at getting this project done and overseeing a library system that is the envy of our whole country. Congratulations.
We're lucky to have two legislators here from the state level, and they said they would both come up together in the name of time. So thank you. We have a dynamic duo of Senator Michael McDonald and Representative Jeff Yarrick.
Larry, we said we'd be so brief that we would do this together, so hopefully you appreciate that. Thank you. What was it I told you, Larry, when I first did the tour here? What does this building remind me of? It's like the Roman Pantheon. It's such an honor to be able to represent two wonderful cities like Clinton and Macomb Township and visionary leaders like Frank Viviano and Bob Cannon. I thank you. County executives like Mark Hackel. Larry, on behalf of the state, staff of the state, we do have a tribute for you. We won't read it for time's sake, but we do want to offer this to you. And if you can hang it up next to the Detroit Lions' greatest playoff wins, we would appreciate that. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, we were told to be brief because Mark didn't want to get cut down at all. So we decided to come together and offer some additional time. And one thing I think it's important to remember, I just want to comment. You notice Republicans and Democrats having a good relationship in Macomb County. And I will say that you see a lot of banter in the news and so forth. I would say in Macomb County, Republicans and Democrats understand we have a different political philosophy on a lot of things. But ultimately, we want one great Macomb. And we want to make Macomb your home. Did I say it right, Mark? I make sure I plug it. I will say that I served in city council. I came from local government. And too often government sometimes starts focusing on their own little silo. And they don't work together. And there's great things we could do when we come together. And when you look at Clinton-Macomb coming together for a great library system, not having their own silos, and I think, as I said, not unlike Senator McDonald and I coming together for the efficiency to do a tribute together, working together actually does more for our taxpayers, gives more services. And so kudos to both Clinton-Macomb for years of working together and providing much greater services that they couldn't have done alone.
Our next speaker requires no introduction, but I will. He's a Macomb Township resident. Mark Hackel, County Executive. Please come up.
Requires no introduction. I think I've been introduced 4 times, and uniquely, I'll just say very uniquely. And these 3 young ladies are here for a reason. One is because Frank Viviano attempted to steal the moment of holding up props, with those books. And he's learning. I think he's learning from the best. But Frank, the best prop is having children with you when you're speaking to a crowd. You're sure to get some kind of a picture taken that's going to end up somewhere. But the reality is the reason I brought these 3 young ladies up here is unique. I mean, I live just down the road here. And I'm here all the time. I'm either here at the rec center, mostly at the rec center, or paying my taxes to Leon Drillette in that building over there, something that Leon graciously accepts. But watching the building and the development of this facility here was pretty amazing. And these 3 young ladies wouldn't leave me alone. In fact, I sketched out notes today. We came right straight from Lansing. Now, I wasn't working in Lansing. This young lady here, Sarah, my niece, she was playing soccer today. She had a couple games the other day, and she had 1 game this morning, but the most exciting part about it was she also had another game this afternoon. She plays defense, but she scored her very first goal today. So let's hear it for Sarah on her first goal. But as she was warming up, I decided to hijack her sketching book just to write a couple of notes in preparation for this, because all of them said, and even Sarah, we want to be there for that grand opening. They were so excited to come here to this library. And today is their moment, an opportunity to see what's going on inside, because Larry gave us the opportunity to check out the facility when it was being built. And I've never seen kids so excited about a library. And I say that because I was not one of those kids. Larry, congratulations. You've done 2 things today. You've accomplished something here in Macomb Township that you did in Clinton Township with this beautiful facility, and something that I think the entire community will soon embrace up in this area. But the other thing is, on behalf of my former teachers, I was a public school attendant. Congratulations. There wasn't one of them K through 12, that was able to get me in a library or excited about a library, and you finally did. So congratulations, Larry. With that being said, as a kid, I kind of grew up more on the playground than I did in the library. But interesting enough, and I got to believe many of you here today, and if there are young boys that are sitting here in this crowd, they're probably like me, you're more anxious to be outside than you were inside of a building. But as life goes on, you tend to find there's a unique opportunity to connect and understand what your passion is that's going to drive you forward. And that's kind of what happened with myself, and I got to believe many of you. I all of a sudden grew into this interest of wanting to learn more when I got into police work. And so I needed to find information, reliable information. And back when I was a kid growing up, the library was that area where you could find reliable information. Today, all too often, we go to the World Wide Web, the internet, to find information, and sometimes we don't know if we could trust that information. But here in this building, you could trust the information that you're getting here, and it's more than just the books you see inside this facility. I mean, when you walk into this building and you see what's happening here, it's almost like a gathering place. And for kids that want to come here and learn more about themselves and understand more about the opportunities to see something exciting and to grow within their own minds and yet connect with friends, like these 3 young kids right here, these 3 young girls, so excited they can't wait to come here and spend their time and their afternoons in and around this building. Without this building, they would have a hard time with it. More than often than not, you'd be playing on TikTok or all those other games that are out there. This is an incredible asset that adds to the value we see, not just the rec center, the trails, the parks, whether it's in Macomb Township or Clinton Township, all around Macomb County. We have fortunate assets to really build and strengthen our community. This facility does just that. And you know, often or not, we tend to look back and try to think of some unique quotes. Well, the one I look at when I come back here or think about as a kid growing up, a person that I like, believe it or not, as an author, was Dr. Seuss. Laugh as you may, but I think many of us as adults ought to take a look at some of those books Dr. Seuss wrote. I think many of them apply more so to adults than they do children. But when you're in here in this peaceful setting, and you're just enjoying, and you come in, you take on what's going on inside this building, it reminds me of the one Dr. Seuss. And when you walk into these doors, I want you to think about it. You could find magic where you look. Sit back and read a book. That's what this facility is about, and I want to thank all of you for your contributions financially as citizens of this area in making this a reality for our future kids here, future generations, but also take a look at it for yourself and explore, no matter what age you are, inside these doors. Congratulations, Larry. Congratulations, Library Board. And if I can just take one more moment to point out a person on that board, a lady who came up here and had the toughest job of all, and that's introducing public officials, because inevitably you miss 1 or 2, and they're not happy about the fact you didn't announce them. Camille, if you'd stand up for a moment. This lady here isn't just a person that's on the library board. She used to be on our planning department, Macomb County, and she understands economic development. And she helped drive the economy when it comes to businesses to try to make sure things happen. And through this pandemic, she could have retired. She stayed on board for the county, and she helped every business throughout this county in trying to make sure that they stayed afloat. But knowing that we have a person on the library board that understands economic development, when you look at what we're talking about here, it's not just about a business. It's about the assets within a community. She takes what she knows and understands about development and understands that we need these other assets to go along with that to truly have the communities that we have in and around Macomb County. So we're blessed, many of us that live here, that make Macomb their home, because we got champions like Camille and Larry that create opportunities for all of us to enjoy. Congratulations, and thank you very much once again for being here.
Can my ribbon cutters please come up, and if we can have the scissors with the ribbon cutters. Is everybody ready to stop with the speeches and to come in the front doors? Do I hear applause for that? Okay. As they work their way up here, 4 last items of business. There are more great things coming. This building's not done. You should have seen this place the last couple of days. It was crazy. So come today, but come back again in a couple of weeks, and you'll continue to see new things that didn't quite make it for today. What? There's a bald, who got the bald eagle? All right, I wanted a flyover. I got my flyover. The Air Force said no, but the bald eagle came anyway. All right, thank you. Thanks. We're still accepting donations for this building, benches and other opportunities. We've got a table under the dome, or see me. we've got a Dedication Day album for you to sign. It's going to go in the time capsule. It will be open 50 years from now. Not all of us may make it, but get your name in there, and hopefully you'll come back on Saturday, September 19th, 2071. And if possible, if you can save our sod and take a walk on the sidewalk, we would love that. But, you know, I know people will still walk on it. It's a little wet here, so if you walk on it, beware. I've already done it. All right, my ribbon cutting team today. I have Mary Russo, the president of the Friends of the Clinton-Macomb Public Library. You know them as the book sale people. They have brought in over $1 million to the library since they were founded. Many of them are there seated in the VIP section because they are truly our VIPs. They're our greatest advocates. They came up with doing an improv book sale in the lobby of the main library, and they continue to bring $5,000, $6,000 a month in, a book at a time, even throughout the pandemic. They supported the beautiful terrazzo medallion in the center and the sidewalk right here in the front. So they are just our go-to people. So Mary is up here on behalf of them. And then because we love summer reading, we decided to randomly select one of our summer reading families, and we have the champion family up here. Eric, Tiffany, Haley, and Drew Gauthier, please come on up. And you have some scissors. Mary, you're gonna have the scissors, or are we gonna? Can you share? Or share? All right, so you guys have to cut this ribbon, and then you are welcome to come on in. All right, we need a minute to do the photo op, though. How to cut it? Just don't cut this suit, please.
Okay.
How about over? Yeah, right. Okay. Can I have a count of 3? 1, 2, 3. I declare the library open for business.
To find out more information about the Clinton-Macomb Public Library, visit cmpl.org. We thank you for watching another edition of Spotlight Macomb.